Cavs Raptors game 1 on Saturday, guys. 1 p.m. on Saturday. They'll then play game 2 on Monday, game 3 on Thursday, game 4 on Sunday, and then we'll see what happens after that. I guess the next game would be Wednesday, and then Friday, and then Sunday again if it goes 5, 6, or, God forbid, 7. There's been a lot of discussion we've had over really a couple of months about what the Cavs, their fifth guy should be, who their fifth guy should be, if everybody's ready to go. And the Cavs do have everybody ready to go, Mike, right? I mean, everybody's healthy going into the playoffs, or healthy-ish.
Thomas Bryant may be the only guy who's not active.
I know, but we're not counting him. I'm talking about guys who are actually going to play.
Outside of that, everyone should be good to go.
Of the guys who are actually going to play in the playoffs, they are all relatively healthy, certainly healthy enough to play. And so the question is, we know that Donovan, I was about to say Darius for a second, Donovan, Harden, Allen, Mobley will be 4 of the 5 starters. But who will the 5th starter be, Mike? Give us the options here, in your mind.
So there are 4 options. And I do think, despite the fact that throughout the last 3 months of the regular season I said it was going to be matchup dependent, now that we know the matchup, I do think there actually is a right answer to this. The options are Max Strus, Sam Merrill, Dean Wade, and Jaylon Tyson, who played in the final 2 games, had an extra week of practice, and is now ready to take on a bigger role for the playoffs.
You know who he's going to say.
Now, we know Dean Wade.
We already know who he's going to say.
Dean Wade is the biggest stiff in the NBA come playoff time. He's won the award 3 years in a row, biggest stiff in the playoffs.
And he's about to start.
Are you the guy? Are you saying he's the guy who should start?
Absolutely.
Yeah, in this particular matchup, the answer is unequivocally Dean Wade.
You already knew it.
It is. In this matchup in particular, it is unequivocally Dean Wade.
Yeah, listen.
Notice you did not argue with me that he's been the biggest stiff in the playoffs.
I just said he's unequivocally the right answer.
Is this because we need his length and we need his defense on the 3 points?
Yes. Yeah, there it is.
Defense?
Yes.
That's what he's going to say.
Yes.
His length.
We talked about in the WKYC portion of the show how many mid-range shots Toronto likes to take. You talk about the size on the perimeter. 6'9" Brandon Ingram, 6'8" Scotty Barnes, 6'7" RJ Barrett. They have Jakob Poeltl, who's a 7-footer, and their point guards in the smaller capacity. You know it's a lot easier to do? Shoot mid-range shots over a 6'4" defender or 6'5" defender than it is over a 6'10" guy. You don't need his offense because Toronto can't score.
Well, you're not going to get it. They're going to leave him wide open. You're going to be playing
optional
5-on-4. 5-on-4. You okay with that?
This matchup was designed for Dean Wade.
Oh my God, Mike! I don't even know what to say anymore. You're supposed to be the basketball guru, Mike. You can't have a guy out there who can't make a shot.
Okay, so on game 1, the starting lineups come out and Dean Wade's actually in the starting lineup.
Yeah.
Are you going to apologize?
No, because what the Cavs have done in the playoffs has failed every year. So I'll apologize if it works.
I will change this.
Not him being in the starting lineup doesn't prove you right.
I don't think Dean Wade's the starter in the second round against Detroit. I think in this particular.
Why? Detroit's a similar team to Toronto in terms of style.
They're not nearly as big on the perimeter.
Oh, okay.
I think this is simply a size thing. If
how big is Jaylon Tyson?
6'5".
You telling me he can't D up one of those guys?
He can.
Is the downgrade from Tyson to Wade bigger than the downgrade on offense from Tyson to Wade?
No, but once again, we've talked about a lot of times, Bull.
Yeah.
In that starting group, when you have Harden and Mitchell, that 5th guy stands in the corner and does nothing.
Then put Strus in there.
He's not nearly the defender Dean Wade is
Who
against
cares?
the 6'9" guys who are shooting mid-range
At least the guys got to defend. You got to worry about Strus from an offensive standpoint.
They will play. Dean's going to play like 22 minutes, but in that starting lineup against what Toronto's
you're never going to win this fight, Mike.
I'm right in this one, though. That's the issue.
I think that you are right. I think Bull hates Dean Wade. We know that.
Hate him. Hate him.
And he would be fine if he were, cut from the team tomorrow.
Totally.
And Mike wants him to start.
Yeah.
Look, I would say Strus is the other option because of his ability to shoot threes. I mean, like Mike just said, someone's going to stand in the corner, going to be wide open. Like, I trust Strus to make a shot over Dean Wade. However, I do agree about the defense of Wade. So, Mike, I bow down to Mike's basketball knowledge on some
This
stuff.
G. Bush,
particular matchup is different.
we have Mobley and Allen. Can't they pick up from the shorter defender?
Yeah.
I mean, if they're taking 2-point shots, they're coming into the basket a lot. Let's go.
We got
Dean
that.
Wade.
We got that. Stop acting like Dean Wade is the second coming of the glove. Like,
Oh my God,
he's
overrated
Like
his
I'm like,
defense.
man, I ain't never seen nobody on no opposite team be like, man, you know what? And Dean Wade was locking us all down today. We ain't had no.
You remember? Wait, whoa.
He just said first off, it's just for this series, right? I mean,
Just for
this
the series, and
this is
also
a matchup
SGA
specific deal.
SGA also said last year Dean Wade guarded me better than anyone else did.
Hey, man,
so
listen.
SGA might be
You're
a
making
decent-
up that quote.
No,
Add thy quote.
I will
If
say
you made
this.
that up, that's genius.
Here, that's crazy.
I'm not that smart.
I'll say this, I'm into playing to what I want to do. I'll figure out some defenders if they get hot, okay? But here's what I want to do. If I'm playing, I want to get my guy Max Strus available and ready to go. Because one thing that, they're going to ask that guy to go sit in the corner. Okay, well, guess what? When you ask him to go sit in that corner, he draws people to you, and
right.
he's going to knock down shots.
And he's the only guy on this team with playoff credibility.
He has the credibility.
He's gone to the finals.
And he don't have the length that Dean Wade has, but you know what he is? He's scrappy. He's also a better playmaker than Dean Wade, better passer. By the way, you need people in space to run the pick and roll. You don't want people clogging up the paint. So now you got an option. It's either what you doing? You can't guard Donovan Mitchell. You can't guard what you gonna do with Harden. He can hit the step back and he's gonna pick and pop. You got Allen rolling. It's more spacing. Give me the guy with the spacing. And by the way, if the Raptors, who can't score that much anyway, listen, make them run a track meet. Listen, if they want to shoot these contested twos, we're knocking down threes over here. We might not even need to deal with y'all in the second half because we are out doing what we need to do. I want the Cavs to play what the Cavs do. The best player. And then what you can do is, bring Dean Wade off the bench. You can bring him off the bench. If Max Strus is getting victimized, come on in, Dean.
All right, so I got some numbers.
Otherwise, I
real
wouldn't
quick.
play him at all.
I got some numbers real quick. So shout out to,
I'm
do you guys
not
know
playing
Data
at all.
Baller, the website?
What's that?
Do you guys know Data Baller, the website?
No.
Terrific website. You can plug in lineups. They give you the net rating, the
Oh,
offensive rating.
here we
all that.
go.
So this season, if you have the core four, Harden, Allen, Mobley, and Mitchell, with Max Strus, they played 31 minutes together with that grouping. Small sample
Mike,
size.
how can I even take these numbers seriously? It's
'Cause there's-
31 minutes.
Because there's no sample size with anything in Harden, Allen, Mobley, and Mitchell. Because
Okay,
they played
but
92 minutes.
what is it's meaningless to
Just
me.
hear
But
me
go
out.
ahead.
Just hear me
yeah.
out. Their total net rating with that 5 and 31 minutes was minus 7.3. If you switch it to Dean Wade, they played 31 minutes, same sample size. You know what their net rating was?
I don't care.
32.5.
What?
32.5.
First of all,
who are those
It's
minutes
a
against?
40-point difference in
who
net
are they
rating.
playing?
Who's
It's
those
30
minutes
minutes.
against? Who's the
It's
minutes
the regular
against?
season.
Gee, what'd you say?
There's 10 things I could give you that don't
Who
matter.
are those 31 minutes against?
Listen, I'm on the quick Data Baller search.
I mean,
don't have
come
the
on.
exact
31
details.
minutes? That's what we're going to make
If there was 31 minutes against the
Well,
Wizards.
hold on. It gets better.
Mike.
If we go to Sam Merrill,
Okay.
Yeah.
19 minutes. Net rating plus 67.5.
Good. Then let's play Sam Merrill.
And if Jaylon Tyson, let's see Jaylon Tyson. Where's Jaylon Tyson at? Jaylon Tyson.
I feel. Can I interject?
Interject,
Jaylon Tyson
please.
has not played a single minute with those
Good.
four in the starting line.
Interject.
I feel like we've spent enough time on this on these scrubs.
Yeah.
Right. I actually feel that.
I don't
Thank
think
you,
they're
Dustin.
scrubs. But let me just make one final point.
We got James Harden.
No, they're not scrubs, but you know what I'm
wait,
saying.
I-
Like they're like
You using scrubs?
That's why I did.
Look at
that's why I
that.
did this because our joke
Wow.
back. in
We
the day.
have James Harden and Donovan Mitchell.
Yes.
I'm saying like
All right.
we should be talking about the fact is what do you think James Harden's going to do in the playoffs with his Cavs?
That's a good point. But let me just
very good point.
Let me
Very
just
good point, Dustin.
waste one more second on this final.
Sorry,
The
Mike,
very
I
good
love you,
point.
Mike.
I hear you. You're right. It's a fair point. But let me just say this. Sometimes as a coach, and I'm all about analytics, you know that. I love the numbers. I'm all into it.
Except when they don't agree with
Sometimes as a coach, no, that's not true.
just
31
poo-poo
minutes
the
of a
numbers.
basketball season is a useless sample size.
There's
Useless.
not a sample size of anyone with
Okay,
this
so then you don't use it.
So
if there's not a
it's
good
NA.
sample size.
It's just like you're gonna see.
That's like making a judgment on the Guardians based on one game only. It doesn't make any sense.
Go on Twitter, you'll see a million judgments.
Well, that's stupid. I don't want to be a party to it. Sometimes as a coach, you know players that are dogs and players that are not.
Yep.
And Dean Wade stinks. Every time in the playoffs, he stinks. I don't care about any regular season numbers. Every time he's hurt, he can't play, he won't shoot the ball. I can't. If I'm supposed to take you seriously as a championship contender, you can't have this stiff in your starting lineup.
And watch how. Look, I want to go back to that montage because as he said it, there was somebody sticking his tongue out at Dean Wade in the background, you're not going to do nothing with the basketball.
I'm sorry if the player looks Amish, he can't be in my starting lineup for a team.
Shout out to Weird Al.
Shout out to the Amish. They're not watching.
What happens when he's in the starting lineup Saturday? Are you going to come on Twitter and make an apology video to Dean Wade?
No,
why
we
would
knew-
I apologize for him
knew-
being in the starting
We
lineup?
know he's going to start.
I'm not saying you're wrong that he won't be in the starting
No, it's
lineup.
just okay.
I'm just saying I don't think he should be.
That's fine. I thought you were saying I was wrong for thinking
No,
he's going to start.
I'm not saying you're going to be wrong.
Oh,
I'm
can
just
you-
saying.
No, I said I'm
whatever.
gonna be right.
But to Dustin's point, really the biggest question is.
It's like, dude, we've got James Harden. We made this trade for a legitimate dude who is obviously he's a Hall of Fame player. He's had an all-time great career. He's one of the best scorers of all time. Will this be the season where in the playoffs James Harden does not fall flat on his face?
And raise his game up instead of going the other way.
Absolutely.
And throw in Donovan Mitchell, another Hall of Famer.
Yep.
Who's been in the league a decade and never gotten to a conference final.
This is the beauty of UCSS because you guys weren't on the panel yesterday.
Yeah.
We spent 45 minutes on that yesterday.
Well, you have a better panel today, so we need to talk about it.
I'm just saying we have.
I mean, that was a sketchy panel yesterday.
That's so.
I don't even know who's on.
And Mikey,
sketchy panel is such a.
Honestly, not even like saying that we shouldn't do the exact same topic you did.
We talk about Shedeur Sanders every 18 seconds. We can't talk about the best players on the Cavs.
Topic today. There was no Shedeur topic today.
I do think
I'm just excited because this is the first time I've had an opportunity to talk about the Cavaliers.
Yeah.
And I don't want to spend 20 minutes talking about Dean Wade.
Yeah, who cares about Dean Wade?
I love you, Mikey.
I would love nothing more than, and I think, and this is, I've always said, the key to James Harden is understanding what the team needs. I would love, it would be refreshing to see, oh no, if you coming off the pick and roll, I want aggressive James Harden. I want James Harden downhill. I want James Harden looking for his opportunities because it's very easy to come in and probe and let me get Allen together. No. You establish game one in this series. If you're going to beat us, you're going to have to play otherworldly because I'm going to be able to get you 30.
Yeah.
You already know what Donovan Mitchell going to do.
Whatever he wants.
Whatever he want to do.
Whatever he wants.
So
But
guess what?
But part of the go ahead, finish.
But that aggressive James Harden is, I think, the key to unlocking what the Cavs can do, because in the regular season he did a good job of fitting in, not in the playoffs. He's a bus driver. I don't want him being a passenger. I want him driving and being aggressive, and then the other dudes can follow. Because Jared Allen and Evan Mobley, they've shown that they're not front runners.
Yeah.
Let that man lead, and then tell him, follow my lead.
And one thing about what you said, you guys are like, well, Donovan Mitchell can do whatever he wants. But part of the Cavs' problem the last couple of years has been that Donovan Mitchell has to do too much in the playoffs.
Yep.
He's not a big guy, and so he gets worn down as the playoffs he gets nagging injuries, and then the team falls apart.
There's only so many games where he
year.
can put the team on his back and go and score 45 points, like legitimately.
Yeah.
Let me
carry the team. That can only happen so many times.
Right.
He's human. He's not Superman.
Let me ask you guys this, because we got in a heated debate yesterday, and I know you two weren't here, and this was the James, Donovan, Evan conversation. Which player in the Cavs do you think is under the most pressure this postseason?
Evan Mobley.
That's what I said.
Evan Mobley.
That's what I said.
That is very wrong.
I actually think it's James Harden.
Also wrong. It's
You think
Don.
it's Mitchell?
It's Don. It's not even close.
Well, Donovan's the guy who's never gotten
face
to
of
the
the team.
conference finals.
Yeah, he's the face of the team. He enters a different strategy.
I would have Mobley third.
But the reason
Mobley
I
is
You can't say we're wrong. There's no opinion. It's an opinion-based
you can't,
conversation.
But,
That's fair.
But
Fair.
the reason I push back against Donovan Mitchell is because Donovan Mitchell shows up. If Donovan Mitchell shows up and scores 40 points in these games and nobody else does, I can't say that it's on him.
But if Donovan can't at least get to the conference finals this year, now in his 30s, you're going to be like, is this guy the best player ever to never get to a conference final? That's going to be on his reputation.
I mean,
whereas Mobley,
it's difficult.
He's not the star. He's the third guy on the team.
But if I will say this, James Harden will be on the team next year. Donovan Mitchell's definitely on the team next year. If Evan Mobley don't do nothing in these playoffs, there's a good chance that he's not going to be on the team.
Right.
He will be in the
young enough.
Yeah, he's too young.
I think there's more of a smear on Harden and Mitchell's. Even if they play well, if the Cavs don't have a good run, then there would be on Mobley because Mobley's young and has time to have that success.
Harden said I'm a paid mercenary.
Right.
His first day in Cleveland, I asked him about loyalty. He goes, and he said it in a really eloquent way, it's a business. I'm trying to get paid. He understands what he's done. This is on Don. Don has talked openly. I got to win.
Yeah.
He embraces the pressure. He said we go 82-0 in the regular season. None of it matters because I'm only going to be judged on what I do in the postseason.
100%.
The magnifying glass is on Donovan Mitchell. Earl's texted me saying, you're wrong again 2 days in a row. I was right yesterday. I'm right again.
No, I actually think you are right. Obviously, it's an opinion, but the more I think about it, there's no chance it's Mobley. No offense, guys. I mean, you guys are lost in the soup on that one. But
Mobley, here's what pressure is. Pressure is, okay, if I don't get it done, what is going to happen? If Donovan Mitchell doesn't get it done, they're going to go and say, give me LeBron and Giannis.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen.
You mean if Mobley doesn't get it done?
No. Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
And Donovan Mitchell's going to see. We talked about pressure last year. Who is the most on? We said Darius Garland, and he was the first dude on the train.
Shipped out.
But Mike is right. It's Donovan Mitchell's team.
Yep.
So yes, the roster may change around Donovan Mitchell if they lose, and not Donovan Mitchell. But the national media, the Shaqs and the Barkleys, they're going to criticize Donovan if he can't get to these more than they're going to criticize Mobley.
Wasn't the question you just asked about who's under the most pressure?
Yeah.
Not who will be the most criticized.
to
Obviously,
me, it's one and the
Donovan.
same.
I don't think so. I think Donovan being the most criticized. Sure, you're the star.
Yeah.
If even if the Lakers don't do crap in the playoffs, you'll still blame LeBron. I mean, if you're SGA and OKC doesn't do crap, they're going to blame SGA.
So
even
if you're
he
going to get the
plays
blame, don't you have the most pressure?
Exactly.
I don't know. I disagree.
The pressure is this. Evan Mobley, y'all told us before the season.
Was Michael Jordan under a lot of pressure every time?
Obviously.
Yes.
Not once he won.
No, I'm saying
Once he won,
well,
not as much, but he was. Michael Jordan was getting killed
that
early.
guy never felt pressure.
Yeah, you're right.
Doesn't mean he wasn't under.
Just because he didn't feel it wasn't.
Hey, G, to your point, and real quick.
So then how are you under pressure if you don't feel it?
If Mobley plays poorly, they bring in Giannis and LeBron.
Yeah.
No, it's no longer Donovan's team. The pressure goes off Donovan because he's not the guy anymore. Right now, he's the guy. He is the face of the franchise.
Nah, not really, because
It's Giannis. It's LeBron. Anywhere LeBron goes, it's LeBron's team. He'd be the third.
Nah,
I don't agree. But it would be Giannis's team.
That's what I'm saying. It'd be Giannis' team.
But here's
It's not Don's.
That is why. Guess what? It's no pressure, because even if he couldn't get it done. Even if they lose, they go back and get Giannis and LeBron. Now where's the pressure shifting? There is no pressure, because now it's Giannis who's won, LeBron this is his city, and James Harden is still here. So guess what? The pressure is on Evan Mobley, because guess what? If he gets moved out, your little championship window is over. That's a wrap. If you get moved to Milwaukee with them pieces and parts, you're done. You will, and then they're really gonna be like, well, Mobley. I remember Evan Mobley was talked about as a top 10 player. Well, now
I just can't imagine the third best guy on a team being under the most pressure.
Maybe Jimmy. He'd be happy to have Jimmy as an owner of the team, though.